So, Barry Switzer, 1975, getting ready to kick Darrell Royal and Texas' ass once again, said, "I know exactly why we had so much recruiting success. We outwork them. I'm young. My staff is young. Our hair is still growing. We can jive with the kids, dance with them." We talk a lot about Lincoln Riley getting off to a 36-6 start in his first 3 years at Oklahoma and making 3 consecutive college football playoffs and winning 3 Big 12 championships. We do not talk enough about Barry Switzer going 32-1-1. Means he lost 1 game in his first 3 seasons at Oklahoma with 2 national championships. And then 1975, they, finished 3rd in the AP voting. I bring this up because it wasn't as if he wasn't going against some of the best that we'd seen in the Southwest Conference, notably Darrell Royal's Texas. And there are only 2 instances for which I have seen a head coach scrap his offense for 1 black player. Darrell Royal, who came up with the wishbone, scrapped the wishbone for Earl Campbell. Said, "We're running power I," which all but says to the defense, "We're going to hand the ball to the Brahma Bull in the back, and we dare you to try to tackle him." The other, Bob Stoops, when he scrapped the air raid for the I formation because he had Secretariat in the backfield and he was going to run him. AD, Adrian Peterson, all day. Now, 1981, Texas State Legislature did just what I thought was impossible at the time. They had the reverse Rocky Marciano. You'll get where I'm going with this. Earl Christian Campbell became an official state of Texas hero alongside Davy Crockett, Stephen F. Austin, and Sam Houston in 81. As I said, that's y'all one. Rocky Marciano. If you know, you know. As 3 men who defended the damn Alamo and one that's a football player. Don Shula once felt the wrath of the tailback with 38-inch thighs while he was toting the rock against the Miami Dolphins. Said, "Earl Campbell had some head-on collisions with our players. I think he won every single one of them." At the time, Campbell played for the Houston Oilers. Equipment manager said they made 4 sizes of thigh pads: small, medium, large, and Earl Campbell. Okay, this during a game when the Oilers were riding Campbell like that train bound for glory against Shula's Dolphins. By game's end, Campbell was so tired, Houston fullback Tim Wilson said his eyes were closed in the huddle when the quarterback called the play. It was toss 38. He looked at Earl and said, "Hey, we're going right. Just follow me." He took the toss, went right, straight to the end zone, was so happy to hand that ball to somebody else and get these fellas to stop from chasing him. Bum Phillips came up to him, gave him a sloppy wet kiss on the cheek. Steve Towles played against Earl Campbell, said, "My career with the Dolphins is what defines me. And I still missed Earl Campbell every time I try to chase him down the sidelines, and it haunts me." Rice's head coach in 1977 said, "Every time Earl carried the football, we'd have to run a stretcher onto the field to carry one of our players or one of our guys off. He's physical. He's a brutal runner. He's very hard to stop. I know our defensive unit was hurt for 3 days following every Texas game." Ta-Nehisi Coates said Earl Campbell played offense like he was playing defense. He looked for contact, exacted a price on all who was looking for him. Kirk Bowles at the Austin Statesman American said he didn't hit tacklers so much as he splattered them. He played the game with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. Jim Murray wrote in the Los Angeles Times that Campbell was the best he ever saw. Put a gun on him and he got a tank. Jim Brown said it's me first, Earl second, and then everybody else, y'all can get in line. A losing coach in a high school game once said to Campbell, "I always thought Superman was white and wore an S. But now I know he's black and wears number 20. After 1978, when Campbell won the Heisman Trophy, Barry Switzer, whom I just mentioned, said Earl Campbell was the greatest player who ever suited up. He's the greatest football player I've ever seen. Billy Sims is human. Campbell is not. Leading up to his first game against the Houston Oilers, Cincinnati rookie Greg Bright insisted that Campbell could be contained, even if many called him Clark Kent in shoulder pads. After Campbell went for 202 yards, Bright was forced to back down. He said, Earl found a phone booth. I love these stories because they get at the essence of what I think college football and high school football are and what they can be. And I am looking to Texas once again as I am so excited to see a freshman tailback there whose name is Bijan Robinson. Bleacher Report feature on him said he wants to be a hero to a lot of people. I looked up Bijan's name. It means hero. As a senior, Robinson carried the ball 126 times for 2,235 yards. He wasn't able to maintain that ridiculous 25 per carry average, and he had to settle for 17.7. He rushed for 38 touchdowns as a senior. Nearly 1/3 of all of his carries resulted in 6. Robinson also added 314 yards receiving on 12 catches. That's 26.2 yards per average and 3 more touchdowns. Jose Lucero, the coach at Desert Edge in Arizona out of Goodyear, said, I thought we defended him really well his junior year, and he still ran for 200 yards. Robinson rushed for 430 and 6 tutties as a senior on 13 carries against Desert Edge. Lucero said, you can be in the right spot at the right time, but he's such a talented athlete that he has the ability to make 1 or 2 guys miss every single time. Robinson accumulated over 7,000 yards rushing in 4 years and is quite literally the best high school tailback in the state of Arizona history with 114 touchdowns, a state record. Justin Graves is the head coach at Tucson High, a magnet school in Tucson, Arizona. He said, I haven't seen a player his size who can cut back, start, stop, and then accelerate to the second level the way he does. Ran for 282 on Tucson. My favorite story here, in the second quarter of a game against Tucson, he broke the 4A rushing record with more yards in that half than anybody else had for a game. A Power 5 running backs coach was there to watch him. He got a phone call during the game. He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm watching the best running back in America. What are you doing? That's why I'm so excited to see what Bijan Robinson has, and he's playing in my conference. He's also playing with the National Gatorade Player of the Year, who's also from Arizona, Jake Smith, who you're going to get to know because White Chocolate does this. He is Christian McCaffrey light, and yet he was better than Spencer Rattler coming out of high school at his position. That's how good he is. There's a reason why Texas is threatening this year. There's a reason why Oklahoma needs to have it to go come September. Because the Big 12 is about to be righteous with defensive back talent, skill players. Which, if we're really talking about OU and Texas, it's the same as it's always been. Strap up, boys. We're going to have us a hell of a time.